In this video, I'm breaking down all the gear that you need to start interviewing other people just like this.
I'm grossing maybe 110 a year.
There's tons of people here that even I've done hundreds of millions in loans with.
35 million in assets under management.
Alex told me that you did 6 sub-2 deals in less than 6 months.
If we sell it for 300, should be making about 60 after like taxes and shit.
$60,000 on the first flip. Dude, congratulations, guys.
So love them or hate them, here's why I love interview clips. First is something that's organic and raw and brings curiosity when you're randomly talking to people on the street, just because of the awkward situation it already puts people in. And so you kind of want to see how that plays off.
Here's like an actual customer out here. What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Where are your parents? Kid's sketchy. Back to you guys.
The second reason why I like clips like this is because now you have the chance to pull out a really interesting story from somebody else from a point of view or a perspective they might not already get.
What's your name, age, and what do you do? My name is Rob Abasolo. I'm 33. I'm a real estate investor / YouTuber / podcast host and everything in between.
And because of this natural curiosity that humans have to learn about other people, they have a big chance to go viral. Like this one.
Which do you make?
Guess.
90.
A little higher.
150.
A little higher.
2?
A little higher.
Tell me.
Or this one that I did.
What's the gross rents?
Gross, 40,000 a month.
40,000 a month?
So now I'm gonna break down every single piece of gear that you need to also do this for yourself. And at the very end, I'll share a few key tips that you need to be able to pull this type of content off. Really heads up, I will link all the gear that we're talking about in the description below. That way you can go ahead and start interviewing people as soon as possible. So let's jump in. So there are 2 bags that I primarily use. I'll either use the Peak Design backpack or the Everyday Messenger. I love Peak Design because they're specifically geared for photo gear. So when you're traveling around with expensive lenses and cameras and things like that, you don't want them to break. Now, the reason why I love both of these gears was one, they do come with padded interiors that help separate your gear and keep them in order. But also, when traveling, they also have a luggage pass-through strap. That way you can stick the back of your luggage inside. So that's the gear. Let's start setting this up. You'll see that attached to my backpack will be the Peak Design tripod. Now, this is the aluminum version. They have a more expensive carbon fiber version that's slightly lighter than this. I think this is like 8 pounds, so it's not a light tripod. But by the way, the other favorite feature of this quick release plate, where like this piece is here, attaches to this, literally in just one clip, and doesn't go anywhere, and you can actually lock it to make it even more secure, is awesome. And then I can just unlock, click the button, boom, it's off. That makes it super easy to set up and also to transport. That's also why I love this tripod a lot. I would stay away from some of the lighter, cheaper options on Amazon just because they're not as durable and you're gonna have an expensive camera that's sitting on top. Do you really want it that easy to tip over? So let's set up my setup as if I was going to interview someone on the streets. And so I walk around with this at a meetup, like a real cool guy here, all set up just like this. So I'll set up my tripod, and for video's sake, I'll pull this up, and now I'm ready to rock and roll. So the next and most important thing is going to be your camera. So I use a Sony a7C. It is a full frame camera, and my favorite part about this is that the screen does come up and it rotates. And so that way I can make sure that if I'm interviewing somebody, that I can see myself on the screen when I'm talking to somebody. That is extremely important. Now, what's probably more important than the video itself, interestingly enough, is actually gonna be the audio. So I have a miscellaneous, another Peak Design pouch here, and this is kind of their, gosh, what is this called? I think it's just like their media bag is actually what it's called. But I like this bag because there are way too many components for everything. And I travel with this everywhere. So this has all of my audio gear all in one all the time. And so inside here, nestled neatly, is gonna be the DJI lav mic set. And this is the best mic. One, because it sounds super crisp. I'm not using it now because I'm gonna show it in the video. It actually comes with 2 mics. So if you would like to pin and just clip someone onto someone, you can just interview someone like this. And you can go ahead and pin this one on them as well. And once you get this hooked up, so let me show you how to hook this up really fast. Again, all of this comes out of this handy dandy case, which makes it super easy. These are the 2 mic transmitters. Now you obviously wouldn't use both of them at the same time, but this just slides onto the hot shoe mount. Another pro tip when you're interviewing someone, make sure that you're placing it with the touchscreen or the levels facing you. That way you can see if it's on and if it's reading audio levels or not. The next thing that you're gonna need is to connect it to the mic input. So there is an out on the DJI mic, and I'm gonna go on that side, and I'm gonna connect to the mic in. Now, when I'm interviewing someone, I actually only use one of these receivers, and that's the other one neatly back in its case. And funny enough, DJI does not make one of these handy dandy little mic stands. And I like to use this, one, because this pop filter helps tune out some of the background noise as well as the plosive pops that happen. And it just looks better when you're talking to someone. Like it looks like a legitimate interview. Hey there, can I just interrupt this? If you're finding value out of this, please give this a like. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you like more content about content creation and real estate investing, make sure to subscribe. Back to the program. So this simply slides on, and then I can put the foam cover on. Now I'm gonna make sure that it's turned on because the green button's on. And now, here's what I do with the camera, is I turn the camera on, the screen is facing me, take the lens cap off because that's not gonna work. And now I can see both on the top of the receiver for the DJI as well as my video camera that the levels are on and it's picking up my audio. And now all I have to do is set this up and double check, triple check, quadruple check that you press record, because you don't know how many times I've done that. And now I can sit next to someone and I can interview someone just like these. And now if I'm walking around at a meetup, a little crazy, but I will actually walk around with this. I'll have the mic in a pocket somewhere and I'm just walking around with the camera. And this is how I go around and I try and meet people and I say, hey, my name's Josh, what do you do? By the way, I'm doing a quick 2-minute podcast. Would you be open to a quick 2-minute podcast about personal finances and investing?
Okay, let me think.
And a lot of times when I say it that way, I actually get more yeses. So again, that is all the gear that you need to start filming your own street style interview video. But now the real secret to interview clips like these is that you have to be charismatic. Essentially, you're coming up to a stranger and saying, hey, tell me about your life, and probably about some very personal things that would make something interesting to share. And so it is your job to bring down their defenses as fast as possible. And so I do that with a couple of tips. The first thing I say is I actually say, would you be open for a quick 2-minute podcast? And for whatever reason, a podcast seems less intimidating than saying, hey, can you shoot an Instagram video with me or social media video? It's kind of implied that the video will be there, but for whatever reason, it registers differently. The second thing is that you have to smile. When you smile, it helps let someone know that you are friendly and almost treat someone as if you just want to be their friend, because you do. Except now you want to build this friendship on camera. And the final tip, and the one that helps the most, is actually do it as a group. Find a group of people who are willing to answer it together. Getting someone one-on-one with a camera is really hard. But if you're able to get 2 or 3 people grouped together and ask them one question, that group discussion is a lot easier for them to palate, especially if they're not used to making videos. Actually, I'll give you one last bonus tip. The last bonus tip is to ask questions that you think would elicit interesting responses. For example, if you're a personal finance content creator, ask them for the dumbest and the smartest purchases they've ever made. It's personal enough and relatable enough to where an audience can relate to it, but you can also get some interesting responses based off of that question. And then you as the interviewer, you have to be a really good listener and you have to react. So when they say something and it's super interesting, be extra animated about that reaction. That animation may throw them off a little bit, but it'll also help kind of break that ice and let them know that we're all just having fun. Anyways, I hope you found that helpful. Going out and getting street interview clips are one of my favorite styles of content, just because it's an easy way to meet other people. And now I also have an excuse to do it too. If you made it this far in the video, type down below, Josh, interview me. And I'd love to see if you made it this far in the video. Again, my name is Josh Baldovino. I'm a marketer and I'm a real estate investor. So my goal is either to help you make more content that helps you make more money, or take your money and invest in real estate so that way we can all get wealthy together. And if you enjoyed this video, I actually have a full masterclass where I break down exactly how I edit these clips that you just filmed, how I then create captions and then post across all the social medias. Now I'm able to post 30 clips per month consistently because I've systematized it. If you're interested in seeing the systems that I use, click this next video down here or this link down below, and I will see you on the next one.